You want me to host Magento Imagine this year? Okay. Hosting Imagine, can I even do that? I've never even climbed a mountain before. But I do live full-time at the Win. What do I do that would make me a good host? I do a lot of things. Like, I'm a hair provocateur. Nah. Oh yeah, developer. You know what? Put that over there. Refactor that. Boom! Magento blockchain. Podcaster.
You're live on Base Shot. How you doing today?
We are very concerned about Phil's hosting experience.
Dude, I'm literally hosting this right now.
Is that really the same though?
Magento evangelist.
Tell you about Magento. Have you heard the good news? The one true e-commerce platform.
Crooner.
Lights go down on Magento.
Oh gosh, I don't know. Can I do this? Can I really do this?
Philip, get a hold of yourself, man. You're a 3-time Magento master, you're 5X certified on Magento, and you have 100,000 people that listen to you every month. You are the Magento community, and you're my friend. Now get in that box.
Jackson. Please welcome your 2018 Imagine MC and host, Philip Jackson.
How y'all doing tonight?
Welcome to Magento Imagine. This is the biggest show in commerce. Are you guys ready for this week? Are you ready? I hope you're ready. This is the show that defines our year. This is the show that you will walk away from with a whole year's worth of content and material, with technology and tips for you to help lead the charge in your business. So I hope you're ready. These 3 days are going to be packed. And I'll tell you what, there's a lot to do in the space of this year. No, a lot's changed in the last year since we last met here at the Win in Las Vegas. In fact, a lot has changed in Las Vegas in the last year. Yeah, for instance, the NFL awarded the Raiders here to come here in 2020 to Las Vegas. Football, anybody? Nobody? Not a single person? And you know what? Las Vegas, you know what Las Vegas needs? Is a hockey team in the middle of the desert. That's what we need, is a hockey team. They're going to the playoffs. That's pretty cool, right? And, of course, I'm sure you all, we would be remiss if we didn't point out the biggest change in Las Vegas in the last year. Cannabis is legal now. Cannabis. Anybody cannabis? That one guy. Everybody knows that one guy. We could have used cannabis last year, right? When we talked about the future of commerce, man. Future of commerce. Whew. Did I mention Baked by Melissa is here? Baked by Melissa, anybody? Cannabis? Baked by Melissa? No. Tomorrow morning, Baked by Melissa is here joining us. A lot of change. Yeah, that one guy. That's good. That's good, man. So lots of changes. Big change in 2017. Net neutrality. Anyone tracking net neutrality in your business? It's a big deal. Unsurprisingly, the Swiss Magento community has decided to be neutral on the topic. Neutral on net neutrality. You know, that's kind of a big thing. You know, the Swiss Magento community, they call themselves Swiss Gento. Real creative naming there. In fact, we do that a lot in our communities, right? Magento, we like to identify with this very successful e-commerce platform. So you get a lot of Magento-based names. You know, there's Wagento. I wonder what they do, those guys. Magento. Mage Mail. We have Mage Mojo, right? Mage Mojo. It's hard to name your Magento-based business, so I created an app for you. This is a real thing. MageName.me. If you need some help naming your Magento-based business, I'm here for you. Some choice names that we got, these are real, from this actual real app that you could really go to right now, for real. Is Shortcake Gento, anyone? Self-incrimination Gento, right? Mage Estimate, self-incrimination Gento. You know, if you happen to be the commander-in-chief of a very large first world nation, self-incrimination Gento might be for you. Mage Simplify. Does anyone need their mages simplified a little bit? And finally, my favorite and yours, Mage Blaze. Did I mention Baked by Melissa is in the house tomorrow morning? Blaze, faked by nobody. It's been an amazing year. This has been the biggest change in commerce over the last year. It's been the biggest number of changes in my life, in my career, in the last year. My road to Imagine has so many amazing stories, and it's only been a year. And it makes me think that Imagine is sort of like an anniversary for me every year to remind me of who I am and who I've become. And that Imagine isn't just about being about the best of us. Imagine we come here every year and it brings all of who we are to bear, the good and the bad, the best practices and the worst practices. And you sometimes have that internal monologue, that voice inside your head that says that you're not up to the task, that this stuff is too hard, that commerce changes too fast, that things are moving too far and too fast and it's hard to keep up. Imagine, I felt like, for me, was the beginning of what started me off in a career that has taken me beyond my wildest dreams to be standing here on the stage in this room with you. Imagine is this anniversary that represents what is the very best of us. It's where I found my home. It's where I found my identity in this community. Every year, I get to remember all these amazing milestones in my life. And I only started Magento development, not so long ago, 10 years ago. And, it's incredible that in 2011, just a few years ago, I first became Magento certified at Innovate in San Francisco. And that was where I said to myself, maybe I could do this Magento thing professionally. So I decided I was going to attend my first Imagine. That was in 2013. And in 2013, I got to meet my commerce heroes. Ben Marks and Kimberly Thomas, and people that I had met through Twitter that I felt like I already knew who were inspiring me to take that next step. In 2014, I got to meet more of those people like Marius Strajaru, and in 2015, I delivered a crane kick that was so powerful that 3 years later, it knocked the existing Master of Ceremonies out of his position and put me on the stage. In 2016, I was awarded as a Magento Master for the very first time, and in 2017, I spent 30 hours in a podcast booth talking passionately about this community that we're celebrating here today. And that brings us to this year. This year, I am your Master of Ceremonies. And I am pumped. So, Imagine is the very best of us. And I want you to experience what I've experienced through Magento. This is your time to share your stories. Don't be in a hurry this week. Set time aside. Turn off the email, turn off the phone. It's all going to be there when you turn it back on. What is one thing that you can identify this week that you can take back to your team, that you can take back to your business to help you lead the charge in your industry? Learn this week. Experience this week. I promise you, you will not leave here the same this week. Because if you're anything like me, Magento will take you farther than you ever thought you'd go. Are you guys ready? Are you ready? All right, join me in welcoming to the stage CEO of Magento Commerce, Mr. Mark Lavelle.
Please welcome Chief Executive Officer Mark Lavelle.
Hello, everybody. How about that? How about our very own Philip Jackson? Wasn't that fantastic? What an inspiring story. That's a homegrown Magento story right there. Very proud of him. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the 8th Imagine conference. And as we like to do here, as a ritual, raise your hand if you are a first-time Imagine participant. Wow. Oh my gosh, look at that. You guys are in for a real treat. Imagine's a very special event on everybody's calendar. The folks around you that did not raise their hands, they're itching for me to ask if you've been here 8 times. I am not, because I can't go through 7, 8, 6, and I don't have that time. But it becomes a ritual. It's a real gathering. And we're really pleased to have you here. And I'm super inspired by the theme we've had this year, Lead the Charge. And we work really hard to make sure that the next couple of days is just a great attendee experience. And hundreds of people work on content and stories and experiences to motivate you, educate you, so that you go back and you really leave here fired up for the year ahead. So take advantage of every minute. Enjoy it. As Philip said, it's an important time to be together. You know, there's an old saying that may you live in interesting times. And I've learned that it's used ironically. Interesting meaning times of change and anxiety and strife, even danger. And indeed, I think we'd all agree we live in some interesting times. And whether it's geopolitics, technological disruption, businesses being disrupted, this is anxiety-ridden times. It feels like it's upon us all the time. But change can also bring a lot of opportunity. Change can also do a lot of good in people's lives. And throughout history, leaders have emerged that have come to the moment that we needed them. Leaders have come because we need leaders to lead. That's why we picked our theme to really focus at this Imagine on the importance of leadership in today's world. When you think about leaders, you tend to think about, people that have for better or for worse, an outsized impact on our lives. Presidents, and prime ministers, and politicians. But, you also could think about technology really having an impact on our lives. Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Jack Ma, and Mark Zuckerberg. They're certainly having an impact. There's also leadership that have really defined social movements throughout the centuries. People like Dr. King, Gandhi, Malala, and Mother Teresa. And for sure, these leaders have outsized impact on how millions of people ultimately live their lives. We're not here just to focus on that type of leadership. Technology and globalization are giving rise to leadership opportunities for everyone. You don't have to be an Elon Musk to be a leader. Think of the social movements where acts of a courageous few have driven important societal changes. Or think of closer to home. Opportunities emerge all the time that allow people to step up, be a hero, and be a leader. The point is, no matter what the change, no matter what is happening, what impact it's having, what really is important in creating permanent, lasting change is us. Human beings. Individuals. Leadership matters. And it applies to the roles that we have in our communities, in our businesses. Now, each of you are here because you guys are leaders in your field. You all are driving an impact, a digital transformation for or on behalf of thousands and thousands of businesses across the world. And at this Imagine, this is about reconnecting you with your passion, energizing you to be leaders and to continue to drive transformation all across the world. Over the next few days, you're going to hear amazing stories from successful leaders across the Magento ecosystem. Our clients, our partners, developers tell stories of overcoming challenges of all types, and driving incredible transformations in their organizations. So, We're very, very proud of the diversity of leadership we have at Magento. If you're sitting there thinking, Mark, why is Mark talking about leadership? I'm here for something else. I can't be a leader of that impact or on that scale. Let me tell you, there's all types of leadership, and it takes all kinds of leadership to drive lasting change. We all lead in different ways. Some people are driven by rapid business transformation. Get it done. Move fast. They're drawn to business transformation style leadership, rallying the troops, leading the charge. You're going to hear in a minute from Peter Sinclair, Universal Music Group. He's going to talk about the charge he's leading to literally change the way artists monetize their art and how they connect with their fans. There's other types of leaders who want to explore all the possibilities, follow every thread, pull on the strings, see what comes of it, be on the cutting edge. I think about our Josh Warren from Creativity, who gave us the community instant checkout the very instant that the Amazon patent expired. Some people want to lead by connecting people. They want to lead through inclusion and bringing people together. And here I think about Rebecca Brockton, who rallied the Magento community on the very important topic of mental health in developer communities, and hooked Magento up with this really amazing organization called Open Sourcing Mental Illness. Finally, there are people that lead that want to protect those things that are important to us in times of change, the hard-fought learnings, the things that are dear, and make sure that change doesn't throw all that away. Think of Alan Storm, whose work makes sure that the next generation of Magento developers is as effective and as efficient as the first generation was. Or how about our very own Karen Baker, who works to make sure that any CEO of Magento never feels too comfortable in his job. No matter what type of leader you are, the point is, all types matter. It takes people of different styles, different skills, different backgrounds to come together to make change happen. And when those come together in a community, really powerful things can happen. I'd like to share with you a little bit about my personal leadership journey. I've studied leadership all my career. I've liked to read about presidents and founding fathers and business icons through biographies, learning how they've overcome challenges and done just the amazing things that they've done. I've picked up the occasional business book every now and then. One of my favorites is a book called 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Anybody have read that one? Very powerful book by Dr. Stephen Covey, who, by the way, is a long-term Magento client. So go check that out. But actually, the most inspiring thing I've learned about leadership actually didn't come from, I don't think it's even a business book. I picked up a book called The Road Less Traveled by M. Scott Peck. And just on the first page, literally the first 2 paragraphs of that book, he wrote, "Life is difficult." And he called this statement a great truth. And it's a great truth because once you understand, really, really understand that life is difficult, it no longer matters that it is. Because once it's accepted, it doesn't get in your way of doing what you want to do. I've tried to apply that to leadership in my career. Once you accept that leadership is difficult, once you really understand it, you expect it when it happens, you overcome it, and you transcend it. This certainly applied for us when we were spinning out Magento, for instance. We had a lot of things to overcome. How do you sync up a commercial business with a global open source community? How do you stay really true to your open source ethos while you try to pay the bills? These were big, big challenges, big questions that we had to overcome. And in a community like ours, how do you reconcile so many different views, so many different agendas, so many needs, so many desires, over different time zones, different languages, and different cultures? Huge challenge. These were a lot of the challenges that we faced as we tried to think about taking Magento through this next phase. I tried early on to travel a lot. I traveled a lot of places, did a lot of speaking, did a lot of talks. I tried blogging. I did a lot of blogging. I did tweeting. I did a lot of meetings. I did some meetings about tweetings. I even tweeted about some meetings. I realized unless I was going to become our great evangelist Ben Marks, which I don't think I could become, I was going to have to find my own personal style of how I was going to lead. And what I believe is communities and businesses that endure over time have a common vision, a common sense of values. I knew first and foremost that what we needed to do was to deliver to our partners and to our clients the world's best products and technology available. Job one. I also knew we needed to build the capability to support those clients on our platform so that they could get the most out of Magento each and every time. And we really needed to build the capability to compete aggressively across the world, make the Magento brand in all corners of the world be present and competitive. But that wasn't all we needed to do. We needed to instill this idea of purpose and vision. Magento is certainly strong today. But Magento, in whatever form it finds itself in the future, needs to have the strength to strive for the decade and beyond. And it's not just as a commerce platform. Magento as a community needs to always exist. As a movement, as a collection of individuals who decide to work together in an open, collaborative way. That's what inspired me and motivated me. That's the challenge I was drawn to. So, I want to share with you how we went about that. In 2017, we started a process that allowed us to think of ways that we could have a shared vision, a mission that drew people together for action, and we defined a culture of behaviors and ethos that really binds people together. We started in 2017 with a process that was very inclusive, all of our employees. We went out to a lot of you, many of you here assembled and many of you out there in the marketplace listening, asked you what you felt, assembled all that information, and I'm very, very proud to take a few minutes to walk you through the results of this. This is our vision. We envision a world of commerce without limits. A world where technology is open to everyone, always available, and powered by human ingenuity. This is our mission. In a rapidly evolving digital world, Magento Commerce builds software that allows people and businesses to achieve their dreams. Our open source solutions inspire contribution, collaboration, and community, which drive innovation and growth at unprecedented scale. Together with our merchants, our partners, our developers, we create meaningful customer experiences and empower brands to realize their potential and thrive on the last platform they will ever need. I love each and every one of those words. They're personally very inspiring to me. We got a lot of great feedback. When you guys leave this keynote, this general session, you'll get a handout that includes, that gives you those mission, vision on the page. It will also include values that we created. We call them our cornerstones. The first one is be an owner. This is about taking full accountability and responsibility for results, not just of your own job, but of your partner, of your teammate, of your client, owning the whole thing end to end. The second is be agile. Anticipate change. Drive change yourself and make speed our advantage. Third, the community. a very uniquely Magento value. This is about active participation, about contributing, giving back, helping, and valuing this incredible ecosystem of ours. Be innovative. Always raise the bar. Always find ways to make it easier for our partners, developers, and clients to succeed. And lastly, be a team. Be proactive as a team. This is about fostering an environment of respect, fairness, diversity, and inclusion at all times. These cornerstones define who we are, and I think they define who we're not as well. We try to live by these behaviors every day. You'll have these also as you leave, and I hope that they help you and your businesses and your colleagues lead the charge and inspire you as much as they've inspired us. So it's been a great privilege of mine to be a part of leading Magento to where it is today. It's my dream that in 10 years, there's a Magento community that is stronger, larger, just as creative, even more inclusive, and making the world better through commerce. Okay, I shared my personal story with you. Now I'd like something for you to do for me. So, put the cell phone. What charge do you want to lead? What charge do you want to lead? Second, what is holding you back from leading that charge? What is keeping you from fully investing yourself in leading that charge? Okay? The next 3 days are designed to connect you with people, to connect you with experiences, to help you learn things, to help you make the change that you want to make in your life, in your organizations, in your partnerships, or with your clients. We want you to lead that charge. Thank you very much for everything you've done on behalf of Magento, and I hope you're inspired as much by what you experience as we are inspired by you. Thank you. All right, so let's get down to some business here. I want to walk you through a few things. I want to tell you what we've been up to since we were last together. I'm going to highlight a couple things that I think are really super cool that's happening in the show. I'm going to bring out some clients and some partners in to tell you some awesome stories about how they've driven transformation. Okay? So, as we gather here together at the 8th Imagine, we actually just passed the 10th anniversary of Magento. And I'm happy to report that Magento is firing on all cylinders across the company and across the ecosystem. There's never been a more exciting time to be part of Magento. There's never been a more innovative, opportunity-rich time in our ecosystem. If you're a merchant in the room, of which there are over 1,000, you notice we're using different words than you might hear at a typical software vendor. Words like love, commitment. But we're used to that. That's who we are. We're used to being on the edge of opportunity at Magento. We invest first and foremost in technology and the platform that our partners can take and extend and build off of. Our platform is extendable, flexible, and global. So when you buy Magento, you're not just buying software and a support package. You are buying into an ecosystem of people innovating on your behalf in every country in the world, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And you know, our merchants are actually proving that point out. As a platform, Magento merchants grow 80% faster than any other platform. Pretty cool. Last year, across the platform, $124 billion worth of gross merchandise volume, sales, processed across Magento. That's going to grow in 2020 to $224 billion. Phenomenal numbers, driving tremendous creativity and activity across the Magento ecosystem. So we're very proud of that growth. It's opportunity for everybody. This is an open platform that is always moving forward. It's alive with innovation. And it gets stronger with each and every new implementation. So you can lead the charge you want to lead and not just follow. Now on Wednesday, our SVP Wednesday, right? Wednesday, Jason Woosley, the great Jason Woosley, will come out here and he's going to go into this in more detail. But I get to steal his thunder because I'm his boss. I'll tell you what we've been doing. B2B 2.2 released a great fanfare, a fantastic release in 2.2, driving a significant percentage of our new business today. And we launched the merchant sales channel, which I think is going to be very important, directly from the admin, allowing clients to post product, promotions, and price to third-party marketplaces like Amazon, eBay, Walmart, Alibaba, and 20 long-tail others that exist out there. We continue to make really incredible strides ensuring the breadth and quality of developer applications in Magento marketplaces. This was really hard, but quite frankly, this is the cornerstone of Magento, the ability to extend the platform with third-party developer applications and make them performant and solid and make them do what they say they're going to do. We worked really hard on this. Today we've certified each and every one of them. There's 3,000 of them in the marketplace, and over 800 extension partners have contributed to it. Super proud of what the team's done there. And we're helping developers shape the future of Magento through the launch of Innovations Lab. And you'll hear more about this on Tuesday, but I'm super excited about the stuff coming out of there, where we're actively helping to promote the next innovation on the Magento platform. We also continue to grow the company and our ecosystem. We've added 50 new solution partners to the partner program since we last met. And we're making really significant strides at the company. There's over 800 people now across the world that work for Magento Commerce. We've revamped the Magento U program, and we've launched a certification program. We feel a big obligation to continue to train, certify, and produce the next great crop of Magento engineers in the world. And Open continues to really drive everything we do. We grew the community engineering effort to the point where I just heard this recently. Magento is the top contributed PHP platform in the world. That deserves a clap. It's fantastic. You know, our community engagement is up 45%, a number we track and promote and invest a lot of time and effort into. And we know it because there's 315,000 active members in our forum, conversing, sharing, learning, trading tricks, and helping people solve problems. So, here's a little bit of preview of things that you're going to hear in the next couple of days. Cloud. Fantastic opportunity as Magento has become a truly cloud-first company. We'll continue to make significant investments towards that. Go see Magento Business Intelligence. It's available now to all of our cloud customers. Important topics you'll hear about, like GDPR. We have experts that will tell you about it. We're ready for it. Our partners are ready for it. It's coming. We're ready. And then, little thunder stealing, Jason and his team have been working hard on the next level of experience on the front end. PWAs are a game changer. We'll make some really important announcements there. And please, please, please make sure you go to as many of these customer testimonial presentations as you can. You know, we've had about 20 or 25 of them last year. We have over 50 clients in the event talking about their experience with Magento. Really, really proud of that. The team's just done a phenomenal job pulling that together. Another great thing about Magento that I love is the opportunity to give back, the ability to help and invest in people and find ways to help people.
It seems like a really bad time to be doing this.
What are you doing? Dude, what are you up to?
You know, they say that you never forget how to ride a bike, but I'm kind of feeling like that might not be true at this exact moment.
What are you doing? It's my middle of my keynote, dude.
Have you seen this thing?
Oh my God, look at that. What is that?
It's got a light. Look at this.
This is the bike we're auctioning.
Yeah. Wow. This bike is all blinged out. It's a Reese Muller bike.
Reese Muller.
Yeah. hashtag Road to Imagine right on it, Magento logo emblazoned on it, and it's on brand orange, kind of like my shoes.
A little bit, yeah, that's fantastic. And
What do
what's
you
great is all the proceeds from this auction are going to go to Make-A-Wish to help kids in need.
That's
That's
right.
fantastic. All right, why don't you get out of here?
You guys like this?
Try not to run into it. There's a lot of wires back there. Jeez. I don't know. I think we created a monster. There's another story about giving back, and I'd like to invite our Chief Marketing Officer, Andrea Ward, to come out and help me with this one. Andrea? How you doing?
Did good.
Good.
Did good. Some pretty good bike riding skills there, I think.
hope so, yeah.
So I'm so glad to be here and share a story of First Book. This is a personal favorite story of mine because they actually reached into us to tell us what they were doing with Magento. And it really started with their passion of connecting books to underserved communities.
Right.
So I didn't know this, but about 20% of all printed books get either recycled or destroyed.
Right away. Yeah.
And so what they decided to do is try and create a way to connect those overstocked books with underserved communities.
Amazing.
And they created a book bank and to serve the needs of 350,000 educators. And as of today, they've already given out or distributed 175,000 books.
I think that might be 175 million books.
What did I say?
175
175 million
175 million.
books. That's even better.
Better by not a lot. A lot better.
That is a
I can't believe that. I would have checked that number too. That's a huge
Yeah.
number.
huge number. And they're now set to get to 200 million,
Wow,
which
it's an
is
amazing
crazy.
organization.
Yeah.
They happen to be running on Magento.
They're on Magento. They've done it all on Magento. And, it turns out we actually have Carrie Palmquist, who's the SVP of e-commerce here, right
Let's
off
have her
stage.
out.
Should we bring her out?
Yeah, that's a rope.
Come on, Carrie.
And we were backstage talking, and you reminded me, it actually happens to be today World Book Day. So we thought it'd be nice to honor what your organization does by presenting you with this check for I better get this one right.
Yeah, you might. Yeah.
$100 million.
Yeah.
$10,000 to First Book. Thank you very much. Okay, now, really proud of this next speaker coming out. I want to thank him in advance. He's been extremely busy. He is doing nothing more than transforming the way artists get paid for their art in an era where IP is free, and helping them to connect with their fans through, in some part, commerce. So please join me in welcoming Peter Sinclair, Senior Vice President at Universal Music Group, to the Imagine stage.